what's your stable item that you would repurchase in a heartbeat as a minimalist? That's an easy question. Every reusable item that I own, I would repurchase in a heartbeat. And I own a lot of reusable items, but they all serve a purpose. It is so nice to not have a consistent bill. Our cloth napkins, my dish towels, my washable air filter, cabin air filter in my car, engine air filter, all those are washable, reusable. My nail filer, that is reusable. Our bidet, I know it's not like, well, is it? It is reusable, kind of, because you are using it. Just a lot of reusable, helpful items I would repurchase in a heartbeat without even thinking about it, because I know that they've saved us money and they're just great to have in the house. How to stick with low spending when under stress. So the best way that you can stick with low spending when you're under a lot of stress is to, one, focus on your breathing. Breathe in, breathe out. That's something that I had to learn, because when I used to be really stressed, I would go to the mall, I would go to 24-hour CVS, Walgreens, and spend a lot of money on makeup that I didn't need. So focus on your breathing, distract yourself, cook something or clean, deep clean your car. If you're not in the mood to clean, get in the mood to clean. You can watch like a clean with me video, and those always get me in the mood to like deep clean items that I never thought to deep clean. Like the other day, I was watching a girl clean her oven. I cleaned my oven after that video. Those are easy ways to distract yourself from not spending a ton of money, especially when you're on a low income budget like myself. It is fairly easy to waste your money when you are stressed out or sad or have anxiety. Another great distraction is if you have a cat or a dog, take the dog for a walk, or the cat for a walk if you walk your cat. Brush them, play with them. That, you know, they also deserve attention. So instead of spending your money on things, spend your time on the ones that care about you. And, you know, I feel like that's the one thing that's going to help your stress levels, you know, especially when it comes to hanging out with family members, your pets. Those two things really help bring your stress down. What is the one thing you wish you never bought in the most recent years as a minimalist? There is a huge list of things that I wish I never bought. There were certain clothing items that I have purchased within the 5 years of me being self-employed. I have wasted a lot of money. Even with me being a minimalist and posting these videos, I'm not perfect. I make so many mistakes, and I feel like you don't see that a lot with the other minimalist people like on YouTube. They never talk about the mistakes that they've made recently. Maybe I should do a whole video on this, but I'm calling myself out. I purchased like a bunch of Korean skincare. It wrecked my skin. I've talked about this in a whole separate video. I was breaking out everywhere. I spent hundreds of dollars that I didn't have on skincare that I didn't need. Worst thing ever. So when I stopped using the skincare and focused more on a holistic side of skincare, which is just unscented bar soap and castor oil, this is my face now. I mean, I do still have some acne scars, but it is what it is. But my face doesn't break out like it was, which is crazy. So unnecessary skincare. The ice roller I purchased, so stupid, because it doesn't really do anything for your face. I was always trying to make my face look slimmer, and instead of bracing my round face, I was always putting myself down for it. Another thing that I wasted my money on, I purchased the Revlon blow dry thing, but it was like $45. It was on sale. I even called my sister and I'm like, I think I'm gonna purchase it, and I did. And it was so stupid because I didn't even like I used it 3 times and it just fried my hair. So I didn't even get to see how my hair looked with it. It just was fried. My hair type just didn't do well with that viral product. I don't even think I returned it. I think I lost out on the $45. Yeah, there's like a huge list of things that I purchased that were so stupid in this past almost 5 years. I wish I could go back in time. Even when we lived in that small studio, I was so stupid because like I was still making good money with YouTube. I was making close to like $3 grand a month with YouTube, and I never, like, I was naive. I never thought that I would be making what I make now, which is crazy. It's not the best, and I've talked about this, but social media has changed so much, and I am still looking for a job, believe it or not. I always say this, but looking for a job is a job. Like, there's jobs that I started and I quit. Like, there's quite a few jobs that I have started, and were there for like 2 to 3 days, and I quit because the toxic work environment. I haven't really talked about this, but I guess I am now. But anyways, yeah, there are so many things that I have purchased that I wish I never did, because what I need the most now is savings. I need more emergency savings. I don't have that much in savings anymore. And when you make a little bit, and when you make a little bit, your bills doesn't mean like, oh, they're a little bit. Like, your bills are still going to like go up and up and up. I wish I could like take all of those stupid things that I purchased back and have more money in savings. But we can't live in the past. We have to move forward. So I am here to tell you guys that even though I make money saving videos, minimalist videos, I still make mistakes. I am not perfect. And again, I wish other people online would like say that too, because sometimes I do feel alone with making these videos, and sometimes feeling like a hypocrite because some of the advice that I say, I don't follow, and it's horrible, but I'm getting better at it. How do you stay consistent with your minimalist lifestyle while living with a non-minimalist? Sometimes it's hard, I'm not gonna lie. There are I want to say so many, but there are quite a few things that I wish I could just like throw out right now, but I wouldn't, because my partner, I will say this, my partner sometimes is right. Like, there's some things that I was like, I'm gonna throw it out, and he's like, no. And then like a month later, we needed that item. So sometimes he knows best, and sometimes I'm too quick to declutter. But then there's times where I'm like, we don't use this, can we get rid of it? So it can be hard. We make it work. And of course, like some of the things that I have done regarding decluttering for my personal things, like he noticed like, oh, you have more room in your closet, and that inspired me to get rid of half of my shoe collection. And he went from having, when we moved in together, he went from having like 20 pairs of shoes to now he only owns like 4 to 5. So sometimes the things that I do rubs off on him, and sometimes I understand that the things that he doesn't want to get rid of, I understand why, because we end up needing it like a couple months later. So we just learn from each other. What are some of your biggest goals as a minimalist? So I have quite a few goals. It's not really minimalist goals. I think just my biggest goals in general. I do want to keep some of them private. I don't think you should tell everybody your goals. I'm a true believer of privacy these days. But I think one goal that I have in mind is to move. I cannot wait until we move and we have a place of our own. I don't care if there's pink wallpaper. I don't care if the place looks super, super old. I just want a place of our own. I'm so sick and tired of renting. I'm sick and tired of not having windows. I'm sick and tired of the rent always going up, not being able to find parking. Like, I just want to be in our own environment. I also would like if we had like an extra bedroom where my partner can have his own office. I think it would be so beneficial for him, because there's times where he's like taking calls with clients in the living room where his desk is, and I'm like right beside him in the kitchen cooking, and it's like when he's on the phone, I'm like being really, really quiet while cooking. So I think that's like the biggest goal is I want to move. I don't care if it's in a new town. At this point, I don't even care if we move out of state. I know that won't happen, but I'm just ready for change. This is the longest I've ever lived in the same apartment. I grew up always moving from apartment to apartment. We never stayed in a place for a long time. So what it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be 4 years here. So pretty long. And I'm just ready for something new. I'm hoping for more windows, like I said, and also for like Milo to have more room to run around and see what's out there, like the birds more. And I would like to have like a hummingbird feeder where the hummingbirds can come around. And I just dream of having like a garden, and I'm in my home era vibe these days. I also want to make my own bread, but like having this oven that we have, it's really old, and I've tried, and it's just, it takes like 3 hours. It's horrible. So I just can't wait to move. But I'm just gonna say that one goal. There's many other goals, but I want to keep them private, offline, because I want to protect my peace from others. So I will just tell you that one goal. I feel like that's everybody's goal. Every millennial's goal right now is to own a house, which has been very, very hard. Very hard. I don't know why. Like, these houses are $1 million, $2 million. Like, that is just absurd. When half the time it looks like George Washington himself lived in the house, because they're so outdated. And they're still charging like 1.8 million. It's crazy. How to avoid buying excessive things. The number one way to avoid with buying excessive things is to realize that things expire. That's what helped me when it came to makeup, hair products, food, all of that stuff. Like, I was stocking up, especially on like makeup, certain food items. I was just racking it up. And then I realized, like, wait, all this stuff has expiration dates. Why am I stocking up on floss? Has an expiration date. Why am I stocking up on toothpaste? Expiration dates. Yeah, so I don't do that anymore. When we run out, and we go and get another one. There are certain things that I do stock up on, like we will have like a salad, and on the side of the salad I like to have pita bread. So there's times where I will go to Whole Foods, grab a couple loaves of pita bread and freeze them. And when you freeze things, it usually lasts up to like 3 to 6 months. So just freeze them, and then I will defrost them in the microwave when we need them. But when it comes to beauty products alone, just think of like bacteria. That's what I did. And even if you don't open it, it's like there were nail polishes. Like when I was in my 20s, there were nail polishes that I never opened, and they were years and years old. The loads of mascara tubes that I had a drawer filled with mascara when I was like 21, and it had like 48 different mascaras. And yeah, all of them smelled like fish because they all expired. So anyways, keep the expiration dates in mind. And when it comes to clothes, obviously clothes don't expire, but when it comes to clothes, think of it this way. Think of, what do you really wear? And just try to help others that don't have clothes. You could always donate to a Red Cross place. Like, there's so many things you can do regarding like the excessive amount of things you have. You can always donate and help others, and that's way more fulfilling than stocking up on items you don't necessarily need to be stocking up on. It's more fulfilling to help others in need. So if you have a closet filled with clothes and you're thinking right now like, oh, I need an outfit for tomorrow's event, find an outfit in your damn closet. Like, don't go to the store. And if you can't find an outfit, then maybe you need to rethink your entire wardrobe, because you probably have things in there that aren't you anymore. So donate those to people that would wear them, that could use the clothes. I know that's a little bit of tough love, but trust me, I used to be horrible at buying too many things. There's no need for our homes to look like a store. We do not need to be stocking up excessively on products, clothes, shoes. There's no need. I think, overconsumerism has just exploded on the internet, and all of us feel like we need things constantly, and we really don't. How to not feel or get overwhelmed with decluttering. Again, brutal, honest opinion with this one. I know most YouTubers will post like how to declutter your house in less than 24 hours, your entire house, how to declutter, speed decluttering in an hour. All those videos are BS. BS. They cause stress. They cause you to get rid of things that you probably will end up rebuying in the next 5 to 6 months because you needed it. I feel like those videos do more harm than good. My biggest advice for those of you that feel overwhelmed with decluttering is to focus on not even just a room. Focus on one little section in your house. It could be a tiny little closet, tiny little cabinet. Don't focus on the room. Focus on that one little section. And when you're done, you're going to see the progress you made, and you're going to most likely want to declutter something else. So it has a very positive effect, in my opinion. So yeah, focus on a small area. It could be a tiny closet, it could be under the sink, it could be your spice cabinet. Just focus on one small area. It doesn't have to be a room. You don't have to do it all in one day. You don't have to do it in an hour. You can, you know, if you have that small area, you can focus on that small area all week if you want. Take your damn time. And don't watch those stupid videos, because I guarantee you're gonna stress yourself out. Do you think minimalism can be time consuming? It depends on the person. So I'm an overthinker, and I mean, just today I was overthinking on like what to make for dinner. I'm like, do I do taco night? Do I do lasagna? Like, what do I do? And you know, I will think about dinner from morning until dinner time. So it all depends on the person. When I started a minimalist lifestyle when I was 26 years old, I did overthink it, and I did feel like it was time consuming because I was overthinking it. The best way to go about this is, one, to not overthink it. Just adapt little things here and there in your life, and don't just like, how do I put this in nicer words? Don't take everybody's advice online or in person like with a grain of salt, because everyone lives a different lifestyle. And I know there's gonna be some people saying like, oh, I tried minimalism, didn't work for me. You know, sometimes, you know, the power of the tongue can get to others and yourself. So just be careful on who you surround yourself with, and tell people on what you're doing. That's another advice, is if you are adopting a minimalist lifestyle, don't tell others. You know, progress in silence. And that's something that I've been doing. I've been keeping my life private, a lot of things private, and just focusing on what I need to get done for myself, you know, the tasks for myself. If you could redo any one thing in your minimalist journey, what would it be? I think the only thing that I would redo is to focus more on, yes, minimalism is great, but I would also split that time in half with finances. Like, learn more about finances. Learn how important it is to have an emergency fund or Roth IRA. Make sure you're putting a decent percentage in your 401k. You know, just finances in general. And I didn't think of it. I was so focused on just minimalism. I didn't think of my finances. And of course, 33-year-old Kira is like, damn you, 26-year-old Kira. Like, why didn't you start having a high-yield savings account before? But we can't live in the past. I do want to say that. We can't live in the past. We can't bring ourselves, you know, down constantly over the past mistakes. You just got to keep moving forward. But if I could have a redo, the one thing that I would redo is, yes, focus on minimalism, but also focus on my finances just as much as I was focused on minimalism. On that note, you guys, I hope you enjoyed. I also want to say thank you so much for all of these amazing questions you guys sent in. I can't thank you enough. If you want me to continue the Q&As, I think I have one more Q&A coming this month. But if you want me to continue the minimalist Q&As, and also if you want me to do money Q&As, you can leave your questions down below. I'm always, you know, searching through the comments, trying to get back to you guys. So every time I see a question for these Q&A videos, I always screenshot it and airdrop it to my laptop to remind myself to write them down for these videos. So I can't thank you enough for participating and being here, and I will catch you in the next one.